IVM.
Now, pay your credit card bills on the Cred app and stand a chance to win some awesome prizes, rewards, and cashbacks. It's just so simple. Don't miss out, just download Cred. Alright, welcome to another awesome episode of IVM Likes. I'm your host, Antariksh. Joining me on this episode are my fellow producers, Vinay. Vinay, say hi.
Hi everyone.
Surohini.
Hello, hi.
And the first time on this podcast, Vishal Dubey. Vishal, how are you, man?
I'm fine. Hello guys. Thank
Vishal,
you for inviting me to IVM Likes.
Wow, so formal. Wow.
Very formal.
It is your first time on IVM Likes.
Yeah, it's my debut.
Yeah.
It's my debut after almost 9 months.
Yeah, it's the ever elusive Vishal. I remember when he had joined, about 2 months into joining, he was like, hey man, whenever you do IVM Likes, I would love to be on it. So please let me know. And so since then, that was 2 months into joining, the 7 months back. Since then, I have asked him almost every week, and almost every week he has made some excuse. Because something or the other was actually, either he actually came up, or he was just, I think, too nervous to be on an episode. What is the truth, Vishal?
Actually, I was into making vaccines for COVID with the central government. So
it took you 7 months. That's right. Oh, fair enough, man.
Yeah. I mean, it took 7 months. It took a year for a government to get done stable with the situation. It surely can take 7 months for me to get on IVM Likes. So yeah.
I mean, you're saying you're equating both of them. You're equating making vaccines with being on IVM Likes.
Thanks, Vishal.
Thanks, Vishal. Yeah, it is difficult. I know. I do it every week. Oh my God, what a pain. No, I love doing it.
Pleasure, guys. Pleasure.
Okay, awesome. That's it. Vishal is like, guys, pleasure. Let's move on to what you want to talk about. What we are talking about on this episode are basically sports. Sports is a very pop culture topic. Although I must disclose right up top that I don't follow any sports. I am not into sports at all. And it's not like I was at some point. I was almost never into watching sports. I was into playing a little bit when I was younger, but almost never into. So you guys are here to catch me up and our audience of IVM Likes up on what the world of sports is going through right now. That's coming up in the second half. In the first half, as you guys know, we give you guys some awesome recommendations to something that we have recently checked out or are checking out right now and would like you to check out as well. So let's start with the recommendations round, right? Who would like to start us off? Let's start with Vinay. No, let Vishal see how it's done. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So my recommendation, since we are talking sports and like football is my first love. So let me talk about this game, which is like it's a normal game. It's a managerial tactical game, which is called Football Manager Handheld. So on this game, you can be the manager of the club that you like, and you can feel rich for that time only because you're owning that club. So in this game, you can do all your transfers, you can set your tactics, you can buy players from other clubs, but the financial strength that this game gives is very low at the first. So if you spend 5 years at a club in this game, there is something called sugar daddy. Okay.
Sugar daddy?
Daddy, yeah. Sugar daddy.
Oh, yeah.
I know what that word means in other sense, but in this game, it means that there is an investor who's coming into your club and he will invest in your club. And that investment is around of
what else does sugar daddy mean, man? Sorry. I don't know.
Sugar daddy is someone who is very
Don't tell me. It's fine. I'm joking. When I was about to explain. When there's a woman, right? There's a woman, right? And she doesn't, have that much money and all, right? And she likes to.
She likes time. Yeah, I know.
Okay. So yeah, you were saying.
Yeah. So in this game, the sugar daddy is very different. So if he is an investor who they call sugar daddy, but you need to spend 5 years at a club. But what is the problem?
So wait, is that you're doing basically everything a football manager would do? Basically, most like the kind of thing football manager would do, right?
The football manager never buys players. It's the director of football or the other assistant that he has who buys players.
Okay.
The work of football manager.
So you have no say in the players you buy?
Yeah, manager has the say. But in this game, it's different. It's the manager who is going out and buying, and not the other people from the club.
Okay.
So
the money. How do you earn the money?
The club gives me the money every year. Like it's a certain
whatever the season as according to the performance and all.
Like if you qualify, if you like they say, winner gets this much money. Qualifiers get this much. If you qualify for UEFA Champions League, you get this much money from that game, but the money is very minimal. But we need to wait for like 5 years at a club, then the sugar daddy kicks in, and then you can spend on any players that you want.
You have a sugar daddy, isn't it?
I bought the sugar daddy too. I spent.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you bought the sugar daddy. How does that work? Wait, that is the whole different scenario. Wow, सस्ता sugar daddy है bro.
बहुत सस्ता है, but 200 million देता है पूरे game में.
Wow, क्या बंदा है.
Transfer market.
He wants that initial investment and then he'll multiply your investment.
Yeah, I multiply.
He's very, very smart sugar daddy. He knows his business. He knows his markets.
Yeah, he knows.
Very cool.
He knows to capture.
So, Arnav, you've been playing this game for?
Sorry?
You've been playing this
How long have you been here?
So I'm playing this game since 2014.
What? So on and off, or you're all constantly playing this game?
What is about this game is that they have a new version every year. Like since 2021, it has a 2021 version out with new graphics, new AI technologies and everything.
And the players like जैसे normal world में shuffle होता है, transfer होते हैं, वैसा इधर game में.
सब होता है यहाँ पे.
So is this like an endless game? Or is there like a match? It's an endless game, right? It's always going on.
It's how like FIFA coming every year. But not.
Yeah, it's the same.
No, but FIFA has matches. This one has like endless seasons, right? No, because the manager will say the same.
This has matches, but
can you get fired? Can you get fired as a manager?
Yes, we can. If you don't perform, we can.
That's too much pressure, dude. Yeah, and that's when the game ends. No, if we are fired,
we can search for another club.
जैसे real life होता है.
We can go to another club, and then another club. Then even from there, if we get fired, then we keep on searching for another club.
Okay, cool. Very interesting. And people can find this app on Play Store,
and Apple. Both.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So, guys, go download this app.
But one more thing. The mobile version and the PC version is very different. It's very like the PC version, you can see the actual game getting played between the players, kicking the ball, going into all the celebrations and everything. Wow. But in phone, you cannot. On phone, it's only 2D. Like we can see some dots moving around the stadium and it's scoring and a football getting scored. Yeah.
Can you shift from the handheld game to the PC game?
The PC game is very advanced.
No, but can you shift? Can you shift? Can you go back and forth?
The same profile and all?
Yeah.
No, we need to create a new one there.
Oh man. Okay.
We cannot shift.
Work on that, man. Football Manager, dude. What are you guys doing?
I have football. I think I deleted from my PC.
Okay, cool. Man, I don't know if you guys.
I'm waiting for the prices to drop. The prices of that single game is 800 rupees more.
Okay, fair enough.
It's worth one like 12 bucket chicken of KFC.
Just a quick side thing. I don't know if you guys know, but so you've all played FIFA, I'm sure, right? You've all played FIFA, right? Vishal, Vinay, you guys have also, I'm sure.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah. So a few years back, there was a website called powersoccer.com. Powersoccer.com, okay, which was basically FIFA level graphics in your web browser, and you can play a FIFA game with all the moves, okay, with like lobbing and through passes and the regular passes and like headers and all the graphics are there. Only the team players' names were different because they don't have official FIFA this thing. But dude, it was a great game, and you could play for free on the internet. Isn't that insane?
Is that website?
It's no, man. It's not. I searched for it like in this past year, and for the last 2 years I've been searching for it, and it's no longer there, which is damn sad. But I just hope it got bought over and got made into something else, and it wasn't a complete waste, because I used to play it and I used to have a blast, dude.
But you must try the Football Manager game for PC.
Man, I just told you I don't follow sports at all.
You need to spend around 3K for that PC game. So my recommendation is like
just download the free handheld game.
No, you cannot buy the free also. Even if you download the players pack, those players are all fake players.
So you've invested.
I put 800 rupees every year.
Every year you put 800 rupees into this game.
800 rupees for this game, yeah.
But for a year, that's fine, dude. 800 rupees.
Yeah, once you download that game and if you uninstall it again, you can download it again. You don't have to pay them.
Okay, so wait. So 800 rupees, you are playing this game since 2014, you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's 7 years, right? So 7 years into 800 is 15,000? What?
5,600.
5,600. My math is so bad. Thanks, Surohini, for being on this episode. But yeah, 5,600 is not bad in like 7 years. It's totally fine.
But sometimes I've bought it on discount also. So
okay, cool.
80 rupees one time.
Cool. So please go, guys. Download the app if you guys are interested. Let's go on to Surohini. What would you like to recommend?
So my this week's, or let's say this episode's IVM recommendation is a book that I am reading, which is called Theatres of Democracy by Shiv Viswanathan.
Okay, well.
And yeah, so basically it is about different essays. It includes different essays, and it is about political I would say political ideologies in 21st century, basically.
It's about India though? Talking about
India?
It's
about India. Yeah.
So is it Theatres of Democracy or Democracies?
Yeah. Theatres of Democracy, Indian Democracy.
Okay, Democracy.
Basically.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So there is this, I have this book right now here with me. So let's say for the first chapter of this episode, of this book is the necessity of corruption. So then how it became a political agenda, and then how it, was used. And that's how the whole book is about.
So you're saying this is different essays by different people or the same writer?
The same person, but on different topic.
So like what kind of topics do you remember?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is basically divided in parts. Okay. So first part is like reading society, in which we have corruption, in which we have the Macedon Maruti 800. उसके ऊपर एक topic है, उसके ऊपर बात होती है.
Okay, ambassador, because the ambassador car, right?
Yes, the Ambassador Maruti 800. उनका जो पूरा वो था.
The ambassador was a very popular government vehicle.
Exactly. Yeah. Why was it the government vehicle? And
even now it is.
That's interesting. I had no idea. Because I have traveled. My father used to be a government worker. He was in the customs and excise. So like in my childhood, sometimes when like we didn't have our own car or something, like to go to school, to get dropped off at school, my I just realized I shouldn't say this. Because you're not allowed to let your children use your car and all when you're off duty. But now it's out there. And I don't want that to be deleted. So whoever the editor is, keep that in, man. That'll be a good moment. Yeah. I didn't say, no, my dad never did that. Okay.
It's a very, it has many parts. It has many topics. It has a topic where we have international democracy's view. One chapter is, I liked Ramdev versus Anna Hazare. This is one chapter that I was reading a while back. So that was a very interesting chapter.
What? Baba
Ramdev Baba.
Yeah, but versus Anna Hazare. What is the comparison? Like
in terms of public reach and following.
In terms
of fasting.
Yes, in terms of that, and also in terms of this
protest.
The protest that they had, like in terms of protest that they.
Both
of them had.
The Lokpal bill.
Individually, yes, the Lokpal bill. So उसके बारे में भी ये बहुत interesting है. It is very interesting. It costs around 700 rupees.
Okay, cool. And you can buy it online, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I made.
You have the physical copy?
Yeah, I made a point to buy a paperback, but you guys can buy a online.
All right, cool. The book is called Theatres of Democracy
by Shiv Viswanathan.
Shiv Viswanathan. All right. Let's get to our next person on the panel, Vishal.
So I've been lately watching this web series called The Serpent. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It's in the production of BBC Pictures. So it talks about a very interesting person, where we Indians would like to Charles Sobhraj. His full name is Hodchand Bhavnani Gurumukh Charles Sobhraj. So basically, his dad was a Sindhi, and his mom was a Vietnamese, and they had he's a French citizen, and it talks about his.
Wait, this is a British show that has Indians in it.
No, it's about. Charles Sobhraj was. Okay. Yeah, BBC. It's made by BBC. But Charles Sobhraj was an Indian in terms of this thing, because his father was Sindhi, but his parents got divorced when he was quite young, and then he later on shifted to France. So he's a French citizen. So that is there, and it talks about his notorious killings. So he was born in 1944, and throughout his 30s, he used to live in Thailand. It speaks about the murders, which he has done in Thailand, by drugging people and looting them and, taking their passports.
This is based on true events, or this is like a fictional?
This is completely a true event. Charles Sobhraj was actually one of the most notorious Asian killers back in the 70s.
He was a serial killer, or was he an assassin or something?
I mean, he was not an assassin. He was a psychopath, you could say, who was, who didn't like socializing that much. I mean, he has never went on record and said that, he has actually killed people, because people were never able to prove it. Because the way you used to murder people, it was like, drugging them, looting them, taking back their passports and making them dead. And then he used to use that passport to travel to their country on their name. So suppose if you are Antariksh from, Switzerland. So, if you have come as a tourist to Thailand, and I'll make sure, me as Charles Sobhraj, I'll make sure that I'll drug you and I'll kill you. I'll take your passport and put my picture on it, and would go as Antariksh Thakkar to Switzerland.
Back to Switzerland.
Back to Switzerland.
Damn.
And his main game was like his business was into more of
tourists, or like
mostly tourists, because Surohini.
You can go back to their country.
Back in the 70s, there was.
Wow! Wait! That's a great. I just forgot that's a great way to travel, dude.
Yeah.
What a short way to travel. You can go, see, the tickets are already booked because the person has probably already booked a return ticket back. Right?
Yeah.
You have like all their clothes you can use because they're dead. They don't give a shit. You can go back, live in their house, have a good time, dude. It's all sorted. Wow.
So because this was that easy, because back in the 70s the security check wasn't that high than it is right now in the 21st century. So reason that was there, and he killed a lot of girls, and he was also famously known as the bikini killer, especially girls who
he would wear a bikini and kill people.
How could he kill girls and then travel?
And then wear their bikini. Wow, what a guy!
No. See, it was all a team game. He had his girlfriend. Yeah, he had his girlfriend named Marie Leclerc, who was also a French citizen, and
she was
another guy called Ajay Chaudhary.
She
was also part of these murderers. Yeah. Ooh. And even another guy called Ajay Chaudhary was from India. And, so these three people as main team, they used to. So Ajay Chaudhary was the guy who used to get leads for him, if you could say that. If in today's marketing term, he used to get leads for Charles Sobhraj. So he used to get tourists who he could easily identify, they are.
Kya, boss, kya must tourist aane That's a Munna Bhai thing to do. Imported by.
So he used to invite them to parties, and back in the 70s, Bangkok, was famously known for its nightlives, and all these parties and all these things used to happen. So the tourists used to come chill and enjoy, and in a very subtle way, Charles used to spite their drinks with drugs or these things, and once they are out of their mind, he used to make sure that they are dead and take off their passport. And he's a very smart and very charming guy. If you look at pictures on the internet of Charles Sobhraj, he was a very smart, fair looking guy, with long hairs and everything. Easily any woman can get turned on looking at him. He was that charming. So it was he was almost a sort of actor that who was very this thing. So that was there.
Why? Okay. Yeah. So Vinay, Surohini, had you guys heard about Charles? What's his name? Sobhraj?
Charles Sobhraj.
Sobhraj. Have you guys heard of him before?
I thought it was a villain from an Amitabh Bachchan movie.
So exactly, I had no idea about this person, but it's such a fascinating character. Why do you think people don't know about him?
Yeah, so the thing is, if you this is just the beginning. If you look at his adventures, he carried his activities from 1960s till late 90s, and he was never being captured. He was captured, but he used to escape it like this in a fraction of days.
I feel we know him just because of there's a series on.
So the thing is, we don't know him that much. Even I discovered about him a year back. But when I was watching this movie called Badlapur, all the prisoners, it's a scene where a prisoner talks about how he's Charles Sobhraj, who has left the jail, because वो बंदा इतना smart था, तिहाड़ जैसे jail, which is India's most highest level of security. वो वहां से भी भाग गया था. He got captured in 1977 and he was sentenced for 20 years. But
the story was from the 1700s, right?
Sorry?
1977, 1700s.
1977.
I was saying 1970s. The story was from 1700s.
No, bro. This can't be that long. 1700s में passport भी नहीं हुआ करते थे.
So you mean 70s? The 70s, you meant?
70s, yeah, 70s, 1970s, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, you were talking about the jail.
Yeah. So even in 97, when it was due his, I mean, 2 minutes pehle, he drugged all the jailers. He threw a party that it's release time for me. He threw a party. He made sure that every jailer in that jail is drugged, and they felt this thing, and he escaped the jail. And he later on went to France, and no one could catch him.
But wait, did he take those jailers' passports also?
No.
No, he didn't.
Not this time. He used to his target audience. Yeah. His target audience.
Target audience. Don't say that, dude. Target audience is not target. His targets, not his target audience.
I mean, he was a very smart guy in terms of marketing and everything. Like approaching the papers and being friends with them, inviting them for a party. Then even they'd come to know. They used to get so jealous. They're drugging them and making sure they're dead, taking their passport, traveling to their country, and selling drugs over there. And also these
people take passports to a party.
No, because if you're traveling to some other country, you have to.
If you're a tourist, you'll have your passport very often. Yeah.
So that is there. And I mean, talking about the web series, it's a 8 episodes web series. Actually, it got released in January back in the Britain and France, and in India it came on the month of April, and that is there. Prior to this, a lot of books have been written about Charles Sobhraj and his.
Dude, I'm totally gonna look this guy up. This is fascinating.
So the first book which ever written on him was back in 1989, if I'm not wrong. And from there is still written. And in 2015, Bollywood made a movie on Charles or Charles. It was the main lead was Randeep Hooda playing Mayor Charles. Charles, and Richa Chadda was the female character. Sorry.
Oh wow.
Oh, I thought it is like the plot of the movie was on Charles Sobhraj.
Yeah. So it was a sort of biopic of him. So it was made back in 2015. I haven't watched that movie, but I've surely seen the series. I mean, I like retro things, back in the days of 80s, 70s. And I really like the theme of the show. I mean, hats off to the art director and the set decorator, whoever of that series has been. It perfectly captures the scenes of the 70s, be it a country like Thailand or India or France or Britain, I like to see different places, and each scene, if you see, has a different colors and themes, and those long bell bottom pants, and even women and all that, and that is there. And
awesome.
I mean, this guy is still alive, guys. This guy is still alive.
But how? If we know his crimes, he's in jail. How do we know?
That's what I'm saying. He's never went on record to say that he has committed those murders. There have been trials, there have been this thing, but no one has ever proved. He's there still in Nepal. He's there in a jail of Kathmandu. Like when 1997, I told you, he got free. He went to France. Yeah. He went to France, and and God knows, he was there out there. After his when he was.
What his accomplices? Did they ever?
Mary Maria Leclerc, she died of cancer in 1984. So she died in 1984, and his other compliance, Ajay Chaudhary, who was an Indian. He was he got disappeared after 1976. No one saw him actually. No one ever saw him. He just got disappeared randomly.
Maybe he killed him also. And
might be, but that's never been proved. There were no traces of Ajay Chaudhary or anything. Yeah. I mean, there are rumors saying that he was last seen somewhere in Spain or something, but those are just rumors, nothing concrete. So when he got in 1997, he went back to France. He used to charge loads of money for reporters to take his interview and everything. I mean, he almost gave rights to a film director for $15 million for making a movie of him, even after doing all these wrongdoings and crimes and everything.
This guy's too fascinating.
But I don't know. In 2003, for what reasons he felt that he should travel back to Nepal. So he had a crime history in Nepal also, where he had killed 2 or 3 citizens back in 1975. Okay. And he went to Nepal in 2003, and somehow a reporter of the Himalayan Times, which is a local newspaper in Nepal, and that reporter captured Charles Sobhraj's pictures. And Charles Sobhraj made sure that, the background of the Nepal should come behind. I mean, he was that overconfident that, no one is going to catch him. So that was there, and he's still in the prison of Kathmandu, and he's 77 years old, but still alive.
Okay, wow. That's The Serpent on Netflix, based on the life of Charles Sobhraj. Very interesting. Thanks a lot, Vishal. I'll get to mine now. My recommendation is an episode of a podcast. I actually have two episodes of two podcasts, but I think I'll do one this episode, and I'll save the other one for another episode. The episode of the podcast I want to talk about is a Joe Rogan Experience, episode number 1299, with guest Annie Jacobsen. Okay, Annie Jacobsen is an investigative reporter who has written books on topics like Area 51, on topics like Operation Paperclip, which I'll get to. She's written about some very controversial, she's written 4-5 books and some very controversial and very taboo kind of subjects, So Annie Jacobsen, as I was saying, is an investigative journalist. She's written all amazing books, and she was on an episode of Joe Rogan, and they get into just such a fascinating episode. I only just watched it, and first I watched all the clips. So this woman has written all these books. I'll tell you the books she's written. She's written one about Area 51, about the Pentagon, the Pentagon's brain. She's written about Operation Paperclip, which is just mind blowing, which I'll tell you about right now. Terror in the Sky, some amazing books about these taboo topics that either people don't talk about or people consider to be conspiracy theories. So she tries and gets to the bottom of these conspiracy theories, whether there's what amount of truth is there, if there is any. This Operation Paperclip. So basically, I watched all the clips of the Joe Rogan Experience episode that was on the Joe Rogan JRE Clips channel. And then I went and watched the entire episode also, because I was just obsessed and fascinated by what the things she was talking about. For instance, have you guys heard of something called Operation Paperclip? Have you guys heard of this?
No? I haven't.
No.
Okay, no worries. So Operation Paperclip, this is going to blow your minds, okay? Operation Paperclip, so the World War II happened, right? There were all these Nazis, right? And some of the top level Nazis were also scientists. They were basically Nazi scientists who were doing all these experiments, developing the gas thing, or the gases, whatever, the chemical gas that they were killing the Jews with. They were these evil scientists, okay, with doing horrible human experiments with body parts and putting amputating people and putting other metallic objects into this thing, trying to create somewhat whatever enhanced human beings or what have you, trying to see the limits of humanity. They were freezing people to death to see at what point humans die, because they used to feel, because the answer was that it's better to know than to not know the limits of the human body. Okay, so horrible, terrible experiments were done by these guys on the Jewish population, right? Back in during World War II. World War II ended. America and the Allied forces won, right? And all these Nazis are now in prison. Okay, they've been sent to prison. What happens after World War II is the Cold War starts between Russia and America.
Right.
Okay, and all Russia and America, they both do this. They take these scientists. Okay, they don't prosecute them. They take these scientists who are basically war criminals. They take these scientists and get them to start working for them. Okay, so that was called Operation Paperclip. The American part of it was called Operation Paperclip, where they got all these Nazi scientists from Nazi Germany, these evil people, and got them to work and develop weapons and missiles. And
Russia.
Yeah, for instance, the first moon landing with Neil Armstrong and all those people, it was because of a Nazi scientist who was involved. I'm forgetting the guy's name, but it was a Nazi scientist who was involved in rocket science, who was the greatest rocket scientist that we've ever known, but he was just this horrible, evil person. So that is a whole different dilemma, an ethical dilemma. And that's why a lot of this wasn't made public for the longest time. Because what will the public think, that kind of stuff. So very fascinating, this stuff. Please go and watch this episode. You will just be mind blown throughout. She also, one of the books she wrote about is Area 51. You guys have all heard about Area 51, firstly, right?
Yeah.
You guys have? Yeah. Do you know Area 51? So the term Area 51 has been around since the 50s. Since 1947, there was a crash in Roswell in New Mexico. Okay. Since then, the term Area 51 has been around, where they say that there was a UFO crash in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. And after that, the crash, or the debris from the crash, and supposedly they found bodies in that. I'm not making any of this up. This is an actual UFO incident that they say that happened. Okay, so they say that this thing was taken back to Area 51, and so basically Area 51, the term has been around since the 50s.
But
okay,
they also say that when man went to the moon on its 15th
that was fake.
They had a female and a male body which were on the moon, which they have.
This is all speculation. Who knows? Anything can be possible.
Some of the things which are like coming out right now, it's like if you can say somewhat.
Yeah, I'll get to that also. Cool. I'll get to that also. You're right. But no, anyway, I'm saying so. Area 51, the term has been around for like so many years. But do you know the Pentagon only admitted to the existence of an Area 51 in 2013? In 2013, that's how late.
Yeah, that's how late it is.
Isn't that insane to even accept? Oh God, how did they get away with this, dude? I mean, it's fine. Your government has secrets. Your government has secrets. You can't help that. You don't want other people to know your secrets. But to even acknowledge that there is something called an Area 51. So for the longest time, a lot of people
visible, like that is so much of like that has.
Yeah, it's so talked about so much. Like it's in pop culture, dude.
Yeah.
So much of pop culture is based around Area 51. And dude, every alien movie that we've ever had has mentioned the term Area 51.
Absolutely.
How is it not? Right? Exactly. It's crazy. It's insane. And so she talks about. So in the book, Annie Jacobsen talks about what that crash, the supposed crash, the UFO crash in 1947, what that was actually. It was supposedly a propaganda campaign. This is what she says on the episode of Joe Rogan Experience. This sounds very far-fetched what she says. She says it was a propaganda campaign run by Stalin, who was the head of the USSR at the time. This is a propaganda campaign held by Stalin. Held by Stalin, who basically, again, this is what she said. She said it was a bunch of little people, a bunch of like shorter dwarves, whatever correct terminology is, little people who were biologically like, what do you call, man? They were basically like cyborg kind of thingies, They were made to look surgically. Yeah, that's what she was surgically made to look like aliens. Little people surgically made to look like aliens. And the reason he's sent this craft over to New Mexico side was because to show the United States that, hey, my propaganda machine is better than your propaganda machine. If I want to sell that I have a bunch of aliens, I can sell that shit, and you'll have to just go with it. So don't mess with me.
Actually, if the theory is true, this actually doesn't feel like too far-fetched, because this
does not. Okay, fair enough. Then maybe I'm not doing as good a job in explaining what she said.
Not the. Of course, definitely the
surgically enhanced little people. Yeah.
But not the idea of doing something like this.
To show their propaganda might and all that.
Correct,
I can understand that they would do that. Even the Germans used to do this. Yeah, so that is fine. But yeah, incredibly fascinating episode. Yes. Incredibly fascinating episode of GRE. So please go check that
out. This book that you like.
I've not read any of these books. You'll have to go look up Annie Jacobsen to find out what books. Annie Jacobsen is the American investigative journalist. And go check it out. That brings us to the end of this first half. I know this went on a little long, but we had some very good recommendations. So what are you going to do? Vinay, what was your recommendation, man?
My recommendation was this football game, which is called Football Manager Handheld for phone and Football Manager only for PC, which is available everywhere on Apple App Store or Google App Store.
And you would also recommend people spend about 800 rupees a year, right, on it?
They should. Yeah. It's a very addictive game, and they will spend like 2 to 3 hours playing that.
Okay, cool. Surohini, what was your recommendation?
My recommendation was a book by Shiv Viswanathan called Theatres of Democracy. You can buy the book. I will recommend you to buy a paperback, but yes, definitely you can buy it on digital also.
All right. And Vishal, what was your recommendation, buddy?
So my recommendation was the web series The Serpent on Netflix. Do check it out.
Yep, based on the life.
It's about a real life character called Charles Sobhraj.
Yep. And my recommendation, which is the final recommendation for this episode, was the Annie Jacobsen episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, which is episode 1299 of the JRE podcast. That's it for this half of this episode of IVM Likes. See you guys on the other side.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, Cred, Cied, TheWholeTruthFoods.com, and PayPal. We really appreciate your support. So this week on Cyrus Says, Cyrus had some interesting guests. Gayaz Irani was on to talk about his new Netflix film, and Mayur Tekchandani has made a new coffee table book about the city of Mumbai, which he came to discuss on the show. On the Wire Talk, Siddharth Bhatia was joined by Dr. Ali Khan Mahmoodabad to talk about the Muslim community's issues during these thorny times. On The Habit Coach, Ashton Doctor is joined by Sonia Jas to talk about the importance of fitness and why this is a great time to begin a journey to good health. The Simplified Gang has reunited and they discuss the hue and cry around the European Super League that was eventually just dropped after 2 days. On Shunya One, Shilith and I are talking to Gurubat from PayPal India. We talk about fintech, the future of digital payments, and a whole lot more. Really deep and interesting conversation about PayPal, its plans in India, and what kind of hiring they're looking to do. On The Millennial Athlete, Tanvi and Shlok were joined by sport and performance psychologist Dr. Shri Advani to talk about mental health for young sports stars. And I just want to again mention some of our cricket shows. The IPL season is on, and you should definitely check out Edges and Sledges. And we also have a Hindi show called Khel Niti. Do check that out as well. And with that, let me get you back to your show.
All right. Welcome back to the second half of this episode. Man, Vishal, that Charles Sobhraj thing has got me thinking that it's such a fascinating story. And I want to know a little bit more. Did this guy ever get married?
Yeah, so this guy got married very first to a French girl. And he had a girl baby with her, baby girl.
A girl baby.
Okay, let me put it this way. He had a daughter with that French lady, and they shifted their base to India, Mumbai, and planning to lead a very simple life. This was in 60s only, early 60s, and they shifted their base to Bombay. I mean, it was back Bombay, then not Mumbai. So they shifted their base to Bombay in 1960s and promising to lead a very simple life. But still he got caught of, he had stolen some jewelry from Ashoka Hotel in Delhi, which was used to be like a big hotel, like all the politicians and, big Bollywood meetings used to happen at Ashoka Hotel. She showed some jewelry, Charles, and he got arrested. Then he shifted his base to Thailand. Then again, he married Mary Leknek, but he didn't marry. And then he shifted to his, when he got caught in 2004 again in Nepal, there was a girl called Nihita Biswas, who was 20 years old at that time, married Charles Sobhraj.
When he was 64 or something. What?
60 plus for sure. 64 or something, yeah. 64.
Wow,
so that 20-year-old girl married Charles Sobhraj at the age of 64. And the mother of the girl, Nihita Biswas, I forgot her first name, but her surname is definitely Thapa.
Wait, sorry, wait. I have to ask this. How charming must this 60-year-old be?
That's what.
That
dude, a 20-year-old girl is marrying him, man. And not even like just dating him for like a week or like 2 months or something. Like, let's see, this is my phase I'm going through. She married this guy. She wanted to spend the rest of her life with him.
Antariksh, we have hopes.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Was this guy really rich or something?
I mean, he used to get rich by killing people and robbing their money off.
So okay, like that. Is it that?
Like that, yeah. And so she got married to Charles Sobhraj at the age of 20. And his mother, I mean the girl's mother, Nihita's mother, I forgot her first name as I said, but her surname is Thapa, and she's a lawyer by profession. And she is defending Charles Sobhraj against the Nepal government to make sure he's free from the jail. And, and the case and the trials are on and on in 2004. And, it happened in 2006 and 2014. But there seems to be no, idea for Charles Sobhraj when he's going to come out. Recently, due to the pandemic situation, I just read an article about.
What is your take on this, Vishal? Do you find this guy as like an evil person? Because to me, it sounds like this guy is this charming person, like a con man. If he had not committed those murders, I would be on his side, basically.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is quite very good at convincing people is what I think. I mean, imagine being a 64-year-old, making a 20-year-old girl married to me. And plus that girl came on Big Boss also.
What? And her rise to, what is her call to fame? Like that she is the wife of Charles Sobhraj?
I mean, yeah, she came,
like, what's her name?
If I remember, Nihita Biswas. Nihita.
But what else does she do? Is she an actress? Is she a singer? What?
No, I don't think so. Like, she is any actress. or something.
So that's what, like, what I'm asking is, why was she on Big Boss then? Like, what was her?
Just because she was Charles Sobhraj's wife, and she came to the season 2, I guess, if I'm not wrong, season 2 of Big Boss.
This guy's like a star maker.
Yeah,
He's just making stars.
Yeah, I mean, this guy made even sisters too, not only girlfriends. He made sure that he had sisters. One of the Indian reporters was
like Adam Rakhi and shit.
Yeah, and like literally Charles Sobhraj, being in jail, sent her a pair of gold earrings, being in jail, to that Indian reporter who was a fresh postgraduate out of Indian journalism.
Okay. So, fascinating, dude.
That is it. And due to this pandemic hit since pandemic has hit all over the world, Nepal is struggling quite a lot to maintain cleanliness and all these things, sanitization in the jail. So a motion or a rule has been passed that all the prisoners of the age of 70 shall be made free from the Kathmandu jail. And Charles Sobhraj also falls into that category because he's 74.
How lucky is this guy, dude? What is his life? What is his life?
But, okay, there's always a but. But, I mean, there's a still debate going on it because, the girl's lady, I mean, her mother-in-law, Charles' mother-in-law, Mrs. Thapa, she's fighting it with the government because the government states that the police officials of Nepal state that it's only applicable to the Nepal citizens. And since Charles Sobhraj is not a Nepal citizen, so the debate still continues. So that is it. But one thing I got to know that, Charles Sobhraj has said that what is his wish if he comes out of the prison? What is the first thing he'll do? He said that he's going to visit some old house at Calcutta. I mean, I don't know.
Must be like childhood.
To India.
Yeah,
Must be a childhood home or something.
No, but he was born in France. And he was
ancestral home or something, then maybe, huh?
Or maybe he has like some money there.
Yeah, possible. Yeah, possible. Buried money or something.
Even the producers of BBC, the executive producers, I saw him quoting that Charles Sobhraj is a man who can never be trusted. मतलब bro उसका ऐसा है ना, you never know सच कहाँ से शुरू हो रहा है और झूठ कहाँ पे खत्म हो रहा है और फिर सच कहाँ से शुरू हो रहा है.
Man, because every teenager
was that guy. Even after all these,
bro, I can't. I'm gonna be late at home today. What excuse should I give? Charles Sobhraj like, bro, don't worry, I got this.
Even when he committed murders in Thailand, Bangkok. So Thailand में ना ऐसा rule है, if you are being on the radar of the police.
Buddy, sorry. We're spending too much time on this now.
I'll finish this.
Yeah, okay.
Last point and I'll do. So in when he committed crime in Thailand, and there's a rule in Thailand police department that if you're on the radar of the police and if you're not present or shown in the next 10 years, that crime gets cancelled. Okay. And Charles Sobhraj made sure that he was away from Thailand from 10 years and all his wrongdoings in crimes in Thailand are cleared. So that's how he
purposely again and did a crime and then went.
Yeah, he purposely again did a crime in India to make sure that he's again jailed for 10 years and he can't go back to Thailand
my God.
Because Thailand में सीधा death मिलता था. Yeah, Thailand में you'll directly hang to death. No proceedings, no anything. So that's it. Charles Sobhraj, do check it out on Netflix. It's a 8 episode series. I'll surely recommend it.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, man. This is on my list now.
Let's come on the topic.
Okay, that's enough Charles Sobhraj for this episode, I guess now. I'm done with him. We have to get to the more, I won't say meaty topic, but a slightly more athletic topic for sure.
Yes.
We have to talk about sports. Okay, that was the original intention. Before Vishal just bombarded us with all this interesting stuff about Charles Sobhraj, and we couldn't help it, man. How do you not follow up on that story? Regardless, we have to get to a more serious frame of mind. Not really, but you know what it is. Let's get to this. Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about sports movies. Not really. Actually, we've actually done an episode on sports movies a few episodes back, so please go and check that out if you guys can. What I want to start with asking you guys. So, as I said, I have almost never been into sports. Like at least watching sports, I always get immediately just super bored. I used to play a lot of sports when I was a kid, but that also I haven't done much in the last few years. But what's the appeal to you guys? Why sports? Why do you watch sports?
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first? Cool, Vinay. Let's go. Let's have you, man.
I mean, it's like an entertainment for us. Like in our pastime, we can watch sports. Like highlights also give sports highlights. You can talk about that also if we want to see them. It gives us another joy that something we are watching. And since it was a pandemic, you can see that how sports turned up to like for us, it was like we are stuck at home. We are doing nothing at all. And then a month later or 2 months later, we are like, yeah, there is something on TV. At least something is live right now, which was sports. So sports for me, it's another joy because I can watch them anytime.
Is it about relating to what is happening on screen?
Like, yeah.
Is it like, do you, so is it like, to use a vulgar phrase, is it like porn where you are imagining yourself in that act?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, you imagining yourself hitting that six. That
even like a childhood was such that we ended up playing sports. Much of like outdoor games was something like the new generation will not know that much about. Like we used to go to the big fields and we used to play sports. We used to play football like in schools, in colleges, in our childhood.
No, so again, I understand playing. Playing is fine. There's a sense of competition.
I'm imagining myself in that.
Okay, so even for watching because you
So while I watch football, I'm standing I'm standing literally. I'm not sitting also. I'm not sitting and watching football. I'm standing and I'm into that game. Like pass it to this guy, pass it to this guy. He's open.
Okay,
and
I think the feel that the whole
it's a different feel.
The whole feel that the whole sport gives. I think and everybody is watching a cricket match right now, and everybody's seeing it. But it's just the feel that it comes, the ambience with it, the whole energy that comes while watching it. You don't know, you cannot predict what's going to happen. You're watching a movie, you're watching a series, you can still predict the story that, this might go this way, this might this go. Sports is something that you cannot predict at all. Like, आपको नहीं पता भाई अगले बॉल पे कोई आउट होने वाला है या अगले ही मिनट या अगले ही सेकंड स्कोर होने वाला है या मतलब बहुत अनप्रेडिक्टेबल है. Who's gonna come, who's gonna play, who's gonna win.
And it doesn't always come down to who is a better team. A lot of it can be luck also.
The underdogs also take their chances.
Exactly. Underdogs. Correct.
There is much speculation also. Like there is more buzz than anything. Like if there is a match today, I will not know. Like I'll definitely have an idea, but I will not know for sure who's gonna play, who's not gonna play, who's gonna get substituted. But you have nothing, no information, no control over that. And when you don't have any control over something and you're watching it, then I feel more free and more easy to watch. So I feel that's a very
like you can take one example of yesterday itself. So I'm a Manchester United fan, and there was this match between Manchester United and Roma, and I was awake for that night, like watching that match. And in my mind, the fielders that were placed were like, I was like, why is McTominay Fred at the back? Why cannot Van der Beek then Donny can be in there? Why can Pogba come into the middle and play?
So you're basically in the match for them. You're analyzing, "Arey, you idiot! My strategy is better than your stupid manager strategy."
Yeah, that's
because I play Football Manager so much. I know this shit.
So the first half was that only. So the 9th minute, Bruno Fernandes scored the goal. And I was like, oh yeah, now we are doing it. And suddenly Pogba slides in, tackles with his hands open, and the ball hits his hands. And that's a penalty.
Secondary, then there is also.
But the rage here from my thing was that he is sliding. It's a natural position. He cannot do anything, and if the ball is hitting, it's a natural position. How can the ref give the fucking penalty? What the fuck?
No, but dude, you're saying he's putting his arms out and all, like fucking.
Yeah, it's natural. If you slide, you cannot put your hands behind, right, and slide.
But you can't do this also, no?
If we slide, the hands will go into a natural position, right?
Okay.
You can't be like very restrictive and be like, "Arey, aise hi jayenge hum."
You cannot be that. If the ball is hitting his hand, the arm is in a natural position. How can you give that penalty? So there was this rage about it. Like no one is like, oh, that's not a penalty. The ref is shit. Yeah, he's shit. He should not play the game. Why is he in the game? Yeah, Pogba, what are you doing?
So that's Cool. So that's one instance. All right, fair enough. Before I get to the next part, Vishal, is this similar to you though? Why you love sports so much?
I would completely agree with Surohini and Vinay what they said. But the best thing, I relate.
You also play. You also play cricket a lot. You also play a lot of cricket, right?
Yeah. So I played state level cricket for Mumbai Cricket Association, under 14 and under 16. I mean, that's a age category where you play, and also represented my college, which is Khalsa College, which is quite top known in Mumbai as a sport college. So, coming towards Surohini and when I said about, sports, I mean, I completely related to my life reasoning because in sports, as Surohini said, you never know what's going to happen in the next moment. I mean, a fraction of seconds can change your entire result. Or you could say that life. And, in cricket there's a quote saying that, the match is not finished until the last ball is being bowled. So it gives me a lot of courage, even in life as well. Like, I take sport as my life because reason being is, you should never give up till the last minute. You never know what may happen. You never know that. And in sports, I mean, there is no, if you could say that, there is no diplomacy or, if you could call politics. By politics, I mean in the game, there is either you win, either you lose. There is no in between. So, in sports, I mean, whenever you lose, there's always a lesson learned. So it's not that, win or lose. It's most about, you win or learn. So that is it. I mean, my cricket coach used to say, whenever a match was being played and we used to win or lose, he used to say that every time he used to say that, ultimately cricket has won. The sport has won. So you should,
so when good cricket is being played, exactly. You're not happy for the team, you're happy for the sport. Is what
sports, ultimately cricket has won. So that's one thing. And, I mean, sports, cricket has made me not only physically strong, but also mentally strong because, in cricket, there's a lot of pressure which you need to handle on field. And, once you can handle and tackle mental pressure in a sport like cricket or any other sport, you can surely handle it in your personal life as well. I mean, I'll quote a lot from my coach. He used to say that 90% of the game, cricket is played in the mind. It's a lot happening in the mind than 10% on the field, which is happening. So, if I'm playing mind games with the batsman on the bowler or any opposition player, it's that which matters. So that is there.
Cool. If I can just ask quickly, what are your sports of choice? Like, what do you guys prefer watching the most? Let's start with Surohini. What are you?
Oh, because I'm handling 5 shows right now for sports.
Yeah. Let's just plug all of them actually. Let's plug all your sports shows. What shows are you handling?
So I'm handling, starting with Kheli Teen, cricket, cricket, football, twaddle, the fighting goat, and the millennial athlete.
Wow. Yeah. So what is your sport of choice?
So actually, I like to watch both football and cricket. I also like to watch basketball. And
basketball, is actually very. I love how fast it is.
Yeah, I mean that's like it just starts the match. Like it's very fast. Like you don't have.
Yep. I think I've read somewhere that it is the fastest sport. It is called the fastest sport. Basketball. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've read this.
I like to watch football and cricket and sometimes basketball. Right now, I'm actually watching all the sports that I'm handling, all the sports that I'm handling. That is badminton, UFC, football.
So you're actually watching all those sports?
I am getting all my updates. I have to watch some of them. So I would have to definitely be updated about it.
Wow, we should have a podcast about Surohini watching all those other sports also.
I'm not good at commentary. Vishal can talk better than me on cricket, and Vinay can talk better than me on football. So
let's have the 3 of you do it, man. We are 3. This is an audition for a podcast. Just so you know.
I'll be Antariksh of that episode. That podcast.
For the listeners out there, we'll surely do a sports episode on World Sports Day with me and Surohini.
Yep. When is World Sports Day?
किसी को नहीं पता.
Content calendar बनाया करो, please.
What about you, Vishal? What's your cricket? Is your
So I mainly watch cricket, but I like to tell you, I started my career as a footballer, where I used to grow in Santa Cruz. I used to have a lot of Catholic friends in my society. So वो लोग cricket खेलते थे, but football ज़्यादा था. So summer camp में, so there's a school called St. Anthony. So I started playing football, and when the other day corrected me.
Wait, St. Anthony Bandra?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
There are a lot of St. Anthony's in Mumbai, but
St. Anthony is the one with the big auditorium, right? St. Anthony's auditorium. That one?
Yeah. So when I asked me, what position you played, and I said I used to play right forward, and he told me that okay, there is no right forward. Either there is a winger, left winger, or right winger. But I remember I used to play on the right side of the center forward. I mean, I used to like that area a lot because, you get to go and play in the front. So that is there. But yeah, definitely I'm watching cricket a lot because as Surohini is handling 5 sports shows. I'm handling one sports show, which is the Edges and Sledges cricket podcast, sponsored by Seat Tires. I mean, so since, as you all know, it's a sponsored show, so the responsibilities are high. And, this IPL especially, we are doing twice episode a week for all our fans out there. So one episode goes out on Monday, and and the next midweek episode goes out on Thursday. So
and you guys live stream also, right?
Sometimes we do, when there's a bigger occasion. Usually it goes on, we go live on weekends around 7 or 8 p.m. IST. So
Surohini, you Khel Niti also live streams, right?
Yeah, so Khel Niti is a daily show. Monday to Friday, we release every episode at 12 p.m. And the premiere live is going right now at 1 p.m.
No, wait, it live streams before Cyrus, right? So 9:15.
No. Yeah. So we have changed that.
Recently, we have changed the time.
All right,
and that we have reduced the recommendations which Amit is gonna give on the.
Okay, so please, guys, if you guys are interested in cricket and want to watch Sabah Kareem and Rajiv Mishra, 2 great personalities from the world of cricket,
and commentate. And Rajkumar Sharma too.
Yep, all these people, please go watch their Khel Niti live streaming.
To all the listeners who don't know, Rajkumar Sharma is the coach of Virat Kohli, ex-coach of Virat Kohli.
What?
Who actually made what Virat Kohli is today. Yeah. So
I mean,
thank you.
We should get Virat Kohli on Cyrus.
Oh, dude, you're telling me as if it's like I've never thought about this. Vinay, what's your sport of choice, man?
My sport of choice is football, cricket, F1, tennis.
Fun, huh?
Yeah, car racing, MotoGP, the bike racing.
You watch all of these sports, right?
Yeah, I watch all of them.
F1 के बाद क्या बोला विनय?
MotoGP.
नहीं उसके like sport. Sorry.
Tennis, cricket, football, tennis.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
What's your?
I like to watch all this kind of sport because it's kind of a time it's for me is like somewhere I'm putting my time into.
Okay, fair. The most sport I will watch is small clips on YouTube. That come up like the top 10 goals in history, that kind of stuff. Top 10 coolest trick shots in tennis history, like that kind of stuff. So those are always fun. That I will watch like to death. Yeah. But only because of the skill involved in that.
Yeah.
That's basically why I watch. So I want to ask: is it ever? This is probably going to sound like such a bullshit question. Sorry, this is going to sound like such a bullshit question. But is it ever fine to compare two sports? In the sense, can I compare basketball and football? Can I compare tennis and badminton or baseball and cricket? Is it fair? Is it a fair analysis as to how interesting that sport is, or how
sport is different? It's in its own way.
Way different.
Yeah, true.
Way different. Like the rules are different.
Yeah, true.
Somewhat you can see similarities between cricket and football adapting to some of the rules.
Yeah.
Right now, like the VAR system in football right now, it's like the third umpire in cricket.
DRS system in cricket.
Yeah, DRS system or the third umpire.
And also you can't compare.
It's an adaptation from football is adapting from cricket, and somewhere cricket is adapting from football. Like the super over kind of stuff. It's adapted from football, right? The football penalties.
And then what football tried right now, bringing ESL.
Bringing the ESL. I know it wasn't inspired by cricket, but it was inspired by the other sport, NFL, in the US, where like the owners of this club wanted a group or a competition of their own.
Yeah. You're talking about the ESL thing, right? The European Super League?
European Super League. But it wasn't the European Super League. It was the Super League. But the media and everyone...
So that is actually part of my questions, because I want to ask about something crazy that has happened in your sport recently. And ESL was one of the things I want to talk about. Just tell us quickly, Vinay, what exactly happened? This is my understanding. Tell me if I'm wrong. My understanding is that all these the biggest clubs, I think 6 or 7, whatever,
so
of the biggest clubs decided they wanted to form their own league, right?
12 clubs.
He went.
Okay. I didn't realize he kept sitting. He was hung the entire time. He was stuck the entire time.
I was like, what?
Flash. It was.
So sorry, Vinay.
Was it about me?
We were on. Yes, yeah. So what happened is that there were 12 clubs and they are greedy owners.
12 of the biggest clubs, right? The most successful.
The biggest. You cannot call Arsenal a big club. You cannot call Tottenham a big club because they have not won anything.
No,
like they have won trophies, but Tottenham in their entire.
My understanding, sorry, Vinay. My understanding is that these are the clubs that bring asses and seats. That these are the popular clubs that people watch and come to.
Correct, but you
cannot.
Not
profitable clubs.
Yeah, but you cannot call Tottenham a super club. Because Tottenham has won only 2 trophies. No chance.
I mean, not success rate. I'm talking about monetary.
The popularity, yes.
The popularity. Yes, it is. Yeah. But it's not like so popular also.
Okay.
But like most of the
but in terms of profitability.
Okay.
Yeah, so the greedy owners of these 12 clubs came together. See, what is happening is the Spanish Football League, it's in like danger right now. They are not earning from anything or nothing is happening because they don't have a structure like EPL, like the English Premier League, which they can count on. Because what happens in EPL is that the clubs which are in tier 1, tier 2 or the national leagues or the other leagues, the money is separated equally between everyone.
Okay.
But in Spanish league, the money is not like equal because the TV rights, the ticket rights, it's not like the same as the EPL. So what happened is a great mind, or you can say a greedy mind from Real Madrid came out, said that I want to make this league. They called it the Super League.
The European Super League, yeah.
Yeah, but there was heavy opposition to it because this league would have killed football forever. Because it
would have killed all the other leagues, you mean, right?
It would have killed all the other leagues. It would have killed the clubs, the culture, and everything of football in say. Because what would have happened is I wouldn't want to see a Real Madrid playing Manchester United every 2 weeks.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And also, if I am a Fulham fan, there's no attraction for me for this thing. So I'm at a loss, dude.
There is nothing.
Just because I support the wrong club, I should not be like not able to enjoy the sport that I love so much.
There was this opposition from all like the fans and everything. Like, we don't want to go into this league. We don't want to be like greedy because the money which was coming from this league, the Super League, was big, and they would have got a Premier League gives them around $150 million, like $150 million per year, and so people were against this. That they don't wanted to go into the Super League because the same. I don't want to see Manchester United playing Barcelona every 2 weeks, or like don't want to see Barcelona playing some in other countries just because of this greedy owners. They want the fans from all the countries. They don't want to see the football aspect of it. They want to like earn money from it. It's the only goal from it. Yeah. So right now, what is happening in UK is that people are signing petition to the government saying that we want a 50+1 rule where 49% of the share stays with the owners and 50+1 share stays with the fans, so that the club owners cannot take such decisions in the future.
Wow. Okay. And is that going to happen, you think?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. But you think that's going to happen?
Yeah. It's going to happen because they are right now they are on 97K signatures. They need 100K for the government, for that petition to reach the government. It's an official government petition. Which is going.
But it's just a petition right now, right? Even if 100K happens, then there'll be.
Right now, but this will.
Then there'll be deliberation on it. They'll debate whether it's feasible, right?
Yeah, but this will. Right, but it should be feasible because the German clubs, they work on this. The German clubs is partly owned by the owners and partly by the fans.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they have been doing this for like decades, and they are working very well. Like if you see at Bayern Munich or Bayern Munich, they say like there are 3-4 words for Bayern. And if you see at Dortmund, like what Dortmund does is they buy players for cheap. They'll buy players for 12 million. Okay. And if the players are big stars, they will sell them for like 150 million, 160 million.
So right now, like for example, they have crazy squad. They have Haaland, they have some more players who, if I evaluate them, their evaluation would be like in crazy numbers, like in crazy million numbers.
What do you think the cheapest FPL team is? Like if I were to buy an entire team and all its players, how much would the cheapest team be?
Yeah. And also, can we like compare the prices of a IPL team and
yes, please. Of course, that is a must. Yeah.
FPL.
So if I had $100 million, can I buy a football team? The cheapest football team, like in FPL. Sorry, in the EPL. In EPL,
the
English Premier League.
Sorry, ESL. I was there.
No, EPL.
No, I mean, definitely you would need more, not 100 million. So काफी कम हो जाएगा. Because then, see, only buying is not the whole process.
Oh yeah, you have to train them. You have to buy coaches.
You have to
manager.
Dress and stuff. And the players are only costing you like what 15, 20 million each, 10 million each. So
correct.
Definitely, and 11 players. So you need on the field. And then you need substitutes.
Wow, that's a lot of money, man.
That's a lot of money. It involves a lot of money, but definitely it involves a lot of money, but it also, I would say, like one match could also give you a lot of money.
A lot of revenue. That makes sense.
A lot of revenue, yeah.
Yep, makes sense. Anything interesting from the world of cricket that recently happened, Vishal? How have the last 2 seasons of IPL been? Like this current season and the previous season of the IPL?
The biggest update is that RCB is on the top of the table.
Not right now. Abhi to CSK.
Not right now.
आज के match में देखेंगे हम.
They have been on the top of the table, like number 1 or number 2, which is a rare phenomena.
Very rare phenomena. मतलब कभी देखने को ही नहीं मिला ये दृश्य हमें. And आपसे
घूम मत चालू. Recording चालू अंदर जा.
नहीं, sorry. What? Vishal, we can hear you, huh? We heard you right now, buddy. That happens to me also. I've also done that.
Am I that Sonam? Who was that? Sapna Sonam, who got viral with the audio on our online classes. Who was that?
Yeah. There are so many people now. This has happened so many times, dude. It's very funny.
Yeah.
And now this has become an actual fear of mine. Of saying something, thinking that I'm on mute, but I'm not really on mute. It has become an actual fear of mine. So I try to double check, or even after muting, I'll stay quiet and I'll think the thing that I want to say.
The worst part is when you're on mute and you speak, and there's this notification that Zoom gives you. Your mic is on mute or something like that. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, एक second. Am I? Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But sorry, Vishal, you were saying the craziest thing that happened in the world of cricket recently.
Yeah, it's like RCB is on one of the top teams on the IPL points table, which is a rare phenomenon because out of the 13 or 14 seasons of IPL being played, RCB has never won a single tie.
So you mean they're the favorites for this season then? Is that what it's looking like?
I mean, it's too early to say that, but definitely they are in the top 2.
Who won the last season? Who won last year?
Well, it was Mumbai Indians. It was their 5th title.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Mumbai Indians. And all the titles have been under the captaincy of my favorite player, Rohit Sharma.
Okay, wow, dude. And who's been the highest number of winners? Like which team has won the most?
Mumbai Indians, 5 times.
Okay. What about the second highest? 4.
Chennai Super Kings, 3 times.
3 times. Okay. Wow, dude.
Could be the 4th this time.
Could be the 4th, yeah. Even they are coming back quite strongly. Definitely, I'll recommend the game if I can do that. Check out, watch out the Mumbai Indians versus the CSK. It's going to be tomorrow.
Okay. What are you looking forward to that? So we are recording this episode on the 30th. But when the episode comes out, it'll be next week. So I think that'll be the 6th, I think.
6th of May.
7th of May it'll be.
So we can, we can do a small prediction. Vishal, who do you think will win?
Oh yeah, for tomorrow's.
I think Mumbai is definitely gonna win. I think I'll place my bets on Mumbai.
You're talking about the match that'll happen on 1st of
tomorrow.
May.
Yeah,
right, tomorrow. That is.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
What do you think, Surohini?
I'll bet on CSK.
And Antariksh.
Bet on CSK.
I don't know either.
I mean, I'll make it simple for you, Antariksh. So Mumbai Indians has Rohit Sharma, and CSK has MS Dhoni. So out of these two,
so CSK, buddy, CSK.
Because you know MS Dhoni.
I know a little bit of Rohit Sharma also, but I know MS Dhoni more. Yes.
Yes.
So
it's because of the ads.
it's because of the one ad that is
Exactly.
Yeah. And with Vinay, we are placing a bet on tomorrow's match.
Vinay, who do you think will win in the match tomorrow? Mumbai Indians versus CSK.
Mumbai Indians versus CSK. I bet CSK.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm the only one who's supporting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm the only one who's supporting Mumbai Indians over here. But it's going to be a very interesting match because it's called as the El Clasico of IPL. I mean, it's that big.
So, guys, we have to end this episode. Just closing statements. I want you guys to tell me your earliest memories with sports. Like, what made you get into sports? Do you have like a very early memory? Maybe it was with a parent, with a cousin or something, sister.
So I started swimming when I was 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. I started swimming and I started playing basketball. Every morning I used to go and swim and do a basketball, session. So I think that is when I started playing a sport. Like that is when I started feeling that what a sport would be. So I think that's why.
All right, Vinay, Vishal, what about you guys?
Yeah, so my thing was till 2006, I was a cricket fan. And after that, I saw Ronaldo playing. And since then, I am the Manchester United fan, you can call me.
Wait, you mean Cristiano Ronaldo or the
Cristiano Ronaldo,
previous Ronaldo? Okay.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Like I used to watch football, not that much, but I used to see football. Like I knew like what the players were and everything. But since I saw Ronaldo playing in 2006, I was like, yeah, this is my club. This is Manchester United.
Okay, cool. Vishal?
Back when I remember, I was only 3 years old or something. It was the first time my dad has taken a picture. I was playing with my uncle, my chacha. And the first time I hold a bat, that's what my dad says. It was held very properly like a professional cricketer does.
Oh.
So at that time only my dad thought that, this guy can be into cricket. I mean, I was 3 years old. So I started playing with my chacha. That was there. And I'm also born on 25th June, which is like, it matches with the date where India won its first World Cup at the Lords in 1983. Where Kapil Dev has taken the
let's be clear, you're not born 1983 though.
I'm born,
you said the date, not the year.
Only the dates match, not the year. I'm born in 1997. So that is there. And I started playing professional cricket when I was in 8th standard, which is like 13 years old. That was the time when I started going to professional coaching, which is Arena Sports Club at Santa Cruz. So that was there.
So,
but why did you leave?
So lately I realized when I...
Let's end the episode first and then...
Yeah, let's end the episode. So the final thing. I remember, so again, to reiterate at the end of the episode, I was never into watching sports, but I used to play a lot of sports. What I used to do as a kid, we used to go to, my mother's originally from Agra. So we would visit our family in Agra very often. And in Agra, we would play Agra versus Mumbai matches. So it would be me and my brother and my dad versus my mamu and my mamu's two children. And we would usually kick their asses. It used to be a lot of fun. So this is my earliest memory with sport, which is a very very fond memory of mine, I would say. So yeah, that brings us to a nice little lovely end to this episode. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Surohini, Vinay, Vishal. Where can people follow you guys online? Surohini, where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @Surohini Jain.
Yep. Vinay, where can people follow you?
Follow me on Instagram @IamPinya.
All right. Vishal?
Corner.
Mr. Dubey?
Yeah, Mr. Dubey is there.
Okay. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. It's really hard to win. BD_HARD, the number 2 and WIN win.
Okay. And you guys can follow me, Antariksh, on Instagram @AntarikshT. Thank you so much, guys. This has been another episode of IVM Likes. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys. Bye-bye.
How many times have you motivated yourself to improve your sleep, or lose weight, or be more productive? How many times have you failed? Hi, my name is Ashton Doctor. Tune into my show, The Habit Coach Podcast, where we focus on creating small, tiny habits to improve your life instead of those big, impossible tasks. So make listening to me a habit every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com or on your favorite podcasting app.
Hi, I'm DJ, one of the presenters of the Edges and Sledges cricket podcast. I'm based in London and host the podcast along with my friend from school, Varun, who's based in Singapore, and his brother Ashwin, who's based in the US. We've all been massive fans of Indian cricket all our lives, and despite living in 3 different time zones and having pretty busy professional lives, we decided to start our own cricket podcast in March 2018. After putting out 59 episodes on our own, we were delighted to join IVM in May 2019, becoming the first pre-existing podcast to be picked up by India's largest podcast network. We've chatted with some awesome people, had some fantastic cricketing conversations along the way, but the main reason we do this every week is to have fun discussing the same cricket topics and issues that you guys are talking about every day in your living rooms. We're fans, not experts, so expect us to be honest. We really hope you decide to join us every week on the podcast.